Hello viewers, welcome to Science TV. I am your host Ben Orangai, and sign language interpreter doing the voicing is Gideon Maina. Let's focus on our top stories that made headlines on our news. The 9th Devolution Conference, currently underway in Homa Bay, is shining a critical spotlight on disability inclusion, with a special forum revealing a significant gap between policy and practice at the county level. During a Thursday side event titled Policy to Impact, Driving Disability Inclusion Through Devolution, leaders from both national and county governments convened to address the shortcomings in implementing disability-friendly policies. A new report launched at the forum presented a sobering reality. A baseline survey found that only 16 of Kenya's 47 counties have enacted specific laws to support people with disability. Furthermore, representation in county government employment for persons with disability stands at a mere 3.1%, falling well short of the 5% legal target. Despite these challenges, the meeting offered a clear pathway forward, with discussion centered on the recent enacted Person with Disability Act of 2025. Speakers stressed that this new law provides clear guidelines of both level of government and urged counties to align their new and own legislations with the new national framework. On other news, Kenyan President William Ruto and Zimbabwe President Emerson Mnangagwa have spearheaded a high-level meeting with leaders from two of Africa's major economic blocs to address the ongoing conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The meeting brought together head of states and representatives from the East African Community, EAC, and the Southern African Development Community, SADC, to coordinate joint effort aimed at restoring peace and stability in the troubled nation. The discussions focused on strengthening collaboration between the two regional blocs to find a lasting solution to the security challenges facing the DRC. The outcomes of the meeting is expected to set a new course for regional diplomacy and cooperation in resolving the long-standing crisis. The discussion also saw the endorsement of the appointment of former Botswana President Mokgweetsi Masisi to join the 5-member panel of facilitators mandated to steer inclusive dialogue in Eastern DRC.
President Mnangagwa and I have agreed to merge the EAC SADC and AU structures into one unified Africa-led initiative in order to enhance coordination and harmonization of the peace processes in the Eastern DRC. I therefore request Your Excellencies to consider the outcome of the joint meeting between the chairperson of SADC and ESC and the panel of facilitators.
The US government has raised serious concerns about what it describes as deterioration in Kenya's human rights record in 2024. In a new report from the US Department of State, it is alleged that President William Ruto's government was responsible for numerous abuses during the youth-led Gen Z protest against proposed tax hikes in June and July of that year. The annual country reports of human rights practices echoes findings from other human rights organizations, with the key National Commission of Human Rights, KNHCR, recording 60 protest-related deaths during the demonstration. The protest, which began over the 2024 finance bill, evolved into a broader anti-government movement even after President William Ruto withdrew the controversial legislation. The US government's finding highlights a range of reported abuses, including unlawful killings, disappearances, torture, and restriction on media freedoms. On other news, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has announced he is cutting his 3-week visit to the United States short to return to Kenya and prepare for upcoming by-elections. In a statement released on Thursday, Gachagua said he will be joining his newly formed Democracy for the Citizen Party DCP to challenge President William Ruto's United Democratic Alliance UDA in key by-election, particularly in the Central Region. Describing his US tour as very successful and fulfilling, Gachagua said he had serious engagements with the Kenyan diaspora. He apologized to those he was unable to meet, stating that the meeting had been rescheduled for early next year. The former deputy president indicated he will take a few days to rest before making his travel plans public.
Anasema Rigiji akitoka ng'ambo ati watamshika. Umesikia hiyo? Umesikia hiyo? Tutakubali hiyo maneno? Kenya iko na katiba na mtu ako na uhuru ya kuzungumza. Wewe enda andikisha statement, wachana na Rigiji.
Siku ile Rigiji atapata nafasi ya kuja Kenya, hii ni nchi yake, hapa ni kwake, na sisi watu wa Kajiado tunasema hatutakubaliana na wewe.
President William Ruto has once again defended his administration's plan, stating that they are the only sustainable way to tackle the country's unemployment burden. Speaking today, President Ruto emphasized that creating jobs for young people is the single most effective strategy to address the high rate of joblessness in the country. He highlighted several government initiatives aimed at equipping youth with skills and providing them with opportunities for self-employment and formal employment. The President's remarks comes as his government continues to roll out programs such as affordable housing projects, digital jobs, and labor migration initiatives, all of which he says are designed to provide income-generating opportunities for young Kenyans. He reiterated that a multi-pronged approach is necessary to ensure the youth, whom form a large part of the population, are fully engaged in the economy.
Watu wa Migori, muko tayari tushirikiane jameni? Munasema tuendelee ama tuendelee? Ni broad based ama si broad based? Ni pamoja ama si pamoja? Mutanisaidia kumshukuru Raila Amolo Odinga jameni? Mutanisaidia kumshukuru kwamba tutaungana na tutaenda mbele pamoja. Na mnajua tumekubaliana ili kufunga kurasa ile ya zamani. Tumesema wale wote waliopata majeraha, wale wote waliopoteza maisha yao kwa mambo ya maandamano ama mambo ya protest, tutawalipa fidia ili tuhakikishe ya kwamba tunaleta Kenya pamoja. Na tumekubaliana vile vile ili twende mbele pamoja katika program hiyo, tutengeneze sheria ya tuweke pesa ya kulipia hawa ndugu zetu, tuweke pesa ya kupanga mambo ya taifa letu la Kenya. Tumesema vile vile ya kwamba Jumatatu tunakutana na wabunge wa broad-based, wabunge wa ODM na wabunge wa Kenya Kwanza, ndio tukubaliane vile hiyo kazi itaendelea mbele, tuunganishe Kenya na Kenya iweze kwenda mbele.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, is appealing to young people to come out in large numbers to register as voters and participate in the 2027 general election. The Commission emphasized the critical role of youth in shaping the country's future and encouraging them to be part of the electoral process. The call is part of IEBC's ongoing efforts to increase voter registration, particularly among the young demographic, which has historically shown lower registration rates. By registering and voting, the IEBC states that young Kenyans can ensure their voices are heard and their interests are represented in the next government. The Commission's push is a crucial step in preparing the country for the upcoming polls and fostering a more inclusive and representative democracy.
As IEBC, we have a responsibility to not only manage credible elections, but also to nurture a culture of participation. by ensuring every Kenyan is included, informed, and empowered to participate. When I mean empower, we as a commission, led by our chairman, we will move to each and every part of this country and ensure our officers, led by our CEO or the commission secretary, reaches each and every Kenyan so that one can make an informed decision. Many a times people think that it is my right to vote, but we little know what is our responsibility.
We want everybody to count. And with whatever energy Mzee has, please, let us reach out to these marginalized groups. The young, actually, you should be, immediately after this forum, you should be the first one to go to some of these remote areas to get these people involved. So this time, let us not leave no one behind. Let us not have some results being declared without certain villages, because they also matter.
We'll take a short commercial break and then we'll be back with sports news.